Let's have the business then on the programme. Asian markets, when they're tumbling really on growing expectations that the Federal Reserve in the US will begin lifting interest rates as early as next year as it looks to prevent the economic recovery from overheating. Heavy losses in the US at the end of last week is being reflected in Asia today. As you can see there, those big losses, particularly there on the Nikkei in Tokyo, down 3.75%. Now, sanctions on Belarus are expected to be pushed through today. The EU saying it will punish Belarus and hit President Alexander Lukashenko in the wallet after the country's authorities forced down a flight, you'll remember, in May in order to arrest a journalist. Let's have a look then at what's set to be decided. Now, they've put forward a ban on new loans. EU investors won't be able to trade stocks with Belarus or buy short-term bonds. EU banks can't provide investment services. And on top of that, there will be certain export and import restrictions, including stopping the EU from buying tobacco and oil products from Belarus. Austrian diplomats did try to oppose that, as Austria has financial interests in the country. And when many EU banks pulled out of Belarus last year, Austrian lenders actually increased their activity there. It's not, though, all this that I've just been talking about a done deal. EU foreign ministers meeting later today to decide definitively on what exactly will happen. Now let's move to the UK, where the Food and Drink Federation there has revealed that food and drink exports to the EU have almost halved in the first 3 months of this year. Trade groups saying it's a sign of things to come as UK manufacturers adjust to life after Brexit. Marios Sophos reports.
For British producers, it could be an indication of how post-Brexit trade barriers are going to affect their business. Exports of food and drinks were down 47% from 2020 in the first quarter of 2021, a loss of €1.6 billion. Measured over a 2-year period, the decline is even greater, with such exports down 55% in the first 3 months of 2021 compared to the same period in 2019. That's a loss of €2.3 billion.
The loss of £2 billion of exports to the EU is a disaster for our industry, and is a very clear indication of the scale of losses that UK manufacturers face in the longer term due to new trade barriers with the EU.
According to the head of the UK's Food and Drink Exporters Association, the losses are partly due to the EU's stockpiling of UK goods prior to Brexit. Yet he added that the downturn had also occurred as a result of additional bureaucracy, customs delays and the cost of trade with the bloc.
We're continuing to battle against inconsistent interpretations of regulations across the EU and having to weigh up whether the time and cost involved is sustainable.
It's the first time in decades that the UK has exported more goods outside of the EU than into it. Unsurprisingly, though, the decline is also being linked to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.